Okay, welcome. Today I wanted to offer a reflection about boarding school and some of the rules that we put in place and just some of the practices we can do to start to undo those rules. Enjoy. So I'm inside today. It is wet outside. So just wanted to talk a little bit. I've got my the book that I've just finished writing called Healing from Boarding School Syndrome, where I essentially talk about my experience of my 7 years at boarding school and some of the kind of things I learned, practices that I've used over the years to start to help heal myself of the issues. And these are things that I use with my clients as well. Now, one of the things I noticed as I was writing this was to do with rules. So I noticed that at school, one of the things that I started to do, probably in the first few days, first few weeks of being at school, is setting down a set of rules. And these set of rules, so some of them that I've written down here as that it is not safe to show any form of emotion. That was one of the rules. That others cannot be trusted. Showing any form of weakness is dangerous. Be very careful who you share your secrets with. So these are some of the rules that I put down. Now, this would be fine, okay, boarding school, 7 years, end of boarding school, you leave at age 18, and it's like, right, I let go of those rules. But the thing about boarding school is that at age 18, I didn't let go of those rules. Those rules stayed with me. So it was only really when I started to do my kind of inner work, and my inner work was spending a lot of time in therapy. I spent time in a Buddhist monastery really unpicking a lot of this stuff. And I realized these rules were still in place. And, I was in relationship with people and I was showing no form of emotion. And that's not great if you're wanting a really loving relationship, if you can show no form of emotion. Indeed, my first relationship, my long-term relationship, I left because I felt I couldn't love her. So the exercise, so this is exercise 8 in my book in chapter 4, is how to undo the rules. And one of the things to do is, first of all, is really working out what the rules are. So what are the rules that you've put in place? So what my invitation in this exercise is to get a piece of paper or your journal and just start to note down some of the rules that you put in place. So maybe it's to go back into those first few weeks to go, what did I see happening? Maybe it was you saw someone get angry or you saw someone crying. What did you make a rule then going, right, I cannot show anger. Right, I cannot show my tears. Right, maybe something happened that, for me as an 11-year-old, the person who was meant to be looking after me, he ended up stealing some of my stuff. And that made me have this rule that, right, I can't trust others, even if they're meant to be looking out for me. So that would be the first step. So pause this video and I'd like you to write down some of these rules. Okay, so how did you get on with that? So the first, I guess I'll give you some more of mine, which might help you. Others of my rules were never say what you're truly feeling. Speak only if you really need to. Be good at sport, classes, activities, but not too good, as this will garner attention, and I don't want attention. That it's not okay to be up and happy, and it's not okay to be sad and down. Another of my rules was that I have to do everything by myself. That it's not safe for me to love. It's not safe to get close to friends. it's not safe for me to be vulnerable. And the last one is, it's not okay for me to be sensual and sexual and enjoy it. So I invite you to write some of these down. And yeah, if you were at mainstream school, maybe you created rules as well. You know, I feel we do create rules. So that's the first step. The second step is really bringing into the open these rules. So what does that mean? So it's like bringing a mindfulness to it. So it means, okay, I notice that I'm starting to not show any emotion. So I might be with my partner and I'm starting to go into that rule. I'm starting to act it out. And the process in my exercise here is just you breathe in and you breathe out, and just breathing in, I'm noticing this rule is coming up. Breathing out, I'm taking good care of myself. And this comes from Thich Nhat Hanh, this breathing. So you're bringing that mindfulness, just breathing in. I'm wanting to shut down my emotions. Breathing out, I'm okay. Breathing in, this discomfort's arisen in me. Breathing out, I'm doing okay. So it's just to bring awareness. Okay, I'm about to kind of play out one of these rules. Most of us are just not conscious. So we're just putting these rules into place all the time. So, you know, it might be that it's not okay to be up and happy. So you notice that life's going really well, da, 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 and then you go, boom, I'm going to get angry at someone, so I sabotage it. Or I'm going to moan and complain, or whatever it is. So notice, oh yeah, I'm wanting to shut down here. And just breathing and letting that be okay. The next step is changing the rules from positive to negative. So that's step 3. So again, what I'd like you to do is pause the video, go back to your list, and if you've not written a list, then I recommend you do. And what I'd like you to do is change the positive to negative. So in my case, the first one was that it's not safe to show any form of emotion, and the invitation is you change it to the positive. I am now safe to show my emotions. And just feel how that feels. The next one, that others cannot be trusted. And changing it around, I can now trust others. And where we use this, so I invite you to pause this and to go through and change those around. What I invite you to do is to have a little list in your pocket with these rules, both the positive and the negative. Eventually you can just have the positive, but at the beginning it's quite useful because it's not obvious. You know, it might be that something comes up and it's like, oh, I can't show emotions. It's like, oh, actually no, I can. It's now safe for me to show emotion here. And there might be instances where it's not. Maybe you're at work and it's not safe, but maybe with your partner, your children. It's like, oh, yes, safe for me to show emotions. So just notice throughout the day when these rules are starting to come into play and start to just change them around. So it's like, oh, yeah, it's not okay to be up and happy. If you're feeling that, it's like, oh, I can now be happy and joyful. I can now be happy and joyful. And just notice how that feels. And so what you're doing is you're starting to rewrite your rules. And you will find, if you're in let's say, a challenging space, it might be days not going very well, then the old rules will really come to the fore. And that's where you've got to catch yourself. Maybe go for a walk, take yourself out somewhere else, just distract yourself. And then when you feel in a better space, then you can come back to the rules. And often in those places, those are the times when it gets clear, wow, that's really a rule for me, that right, I can't cope with people when I'm tired, or whatever it is. So, as I say in this in here, it's like the trick is just to keep catching yourself. Keep catching yourself. It's like these rules were learned over years, and you've repeated them from years, and now it's a time that you're going to learn a new set of rules. And I would even change, they're not rules, they're more guidelines. So it's like, oh yeah, these are guidelines for life, for living in a joyful life, living an open-hearted in an amazing space. So that's my invitation. So first step is writing them down. Second step is bringing mindfulness to them. And the third step is changing the rules around from negative to positive, from, not working for you to really working for you, being a positive influence in your life. So as always, if you have any questions, then please do let me know. My book, well, it'll probably be out in autumn time, I think. And yeah, I'm just going into the space of editing it, proofreading it. Got a few people who've stepped up to offer to edit it, and then I've got to potentially find a publisher. But if not, then I'm just going to self-publish, and I will let people know when it's ready. So I'll probably go through over the next few weeks some more exercises from the book. If you found this helpful, please do comment below. Just let me know that, yeah, this was great, this was really useful. Okay, and any videos you'd like me to record, let me know. Okay, take care, bye for now.